Hello guys, how are you? So I'm just going to jump right into this. I'm in Matthew 14 and I'm just going to set the scene. Jesus has just found out that John the Baptist has died and he goes off to a desolate place. He basically withdrew himself on a boat away from all the crowds that were following him, and even then they still followed him. When he went on shore, he saw this great crowd, and he had great compassion for them, despite the fact that disciples, you can read it for yourself, it's detailed in here, but I'm just paraphrasing. The disciples pretty much, after a long day, wanted these people to go back to their own town and get their own food. Jesus says they need not go away. You give them something to eat. So basically, he's telling the disciples, you give them something to eat. And they're pretty baffled. We only have 5 loaves and 2 fish. So how can you feed? Basically, how would a crowd of 5,000 people be fed? Even today, we think, wow. But it's a miracle. Then he ordered, it says here, then he ordered the crowds to sit down on the grass, taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. He looked up to heaven and said a blessing. Then he broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them the loaves, gave the loaves to the crowds, and they all ate and were satisfied. And there was even food left over. It says here he said a blessing. This is the ESV version. And if you look in one of the other versions, it says he gave thanks. He gave thanks to his Father first. And my first thought was, and while I keep talking, I'm just going to go ahead and I glued a page into this Bible so that I can have some extra space so that I can create. It's not an interleaved. So I have several colors of autumn colors that I want to add in there. I have burnt sienna. This one is moccasin brown, and this one's woodsy smoke. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. I'm just going to create, and let's see what happens. So I got to thinking, and I'm not even using a brush for this. I'm just going to be swiping these colors on the page. I start thinking to myself, okay, it doesn't detail what it was he was giving thanks for. And I put it using just a swipe method on my paper to get some color on there, on the background, because I want to lay some stuff down and draw some other stuff on it. So I'm just going to mix a few of these colors. And I like these colors a lot. This one I'm sort of liking the way it looks. This woodsy smoke color. It's really nice. He thanks his Father. What did he thank his Father for? He has a crowd of 5,000 people there. And I'm sure, because throughout the Bible we see that Jesus was very obedient, trusted his Father, and that's where that was coming from. He didn't doubt that his Father would provide for all these people, as I doubt that even in the most roughest situation, the Lord is going to provide for us. And interesting, I hope I do not make a mess of this, and interesting, you believe and you give thanks to God that he will provide. Hence, we are here today, and we can be grateful for all that we have, all that the Father has done for us. I'm loving the way this looks. This is like, wow. I really like the way it's coming out. And I'm just using a regular card. Swipe, no brush. And then I think I'm going to add a little lighter color, trusting God that God is always going to provide what you need. And thanking him each and every day, even in situations where you think, or in situations that are really hard for you. He will always be there. And that is what Jesus was thanking his Father for. For what they had, they only had They had very little food to give so many people. But when we give thanks to the Lord, He will always provide. He will always provide for you. Okay, now I'm going with this color in there, so let's see what happens. I mean, I'm liking the way that looks by itself, but I think I'm just going to swipe a little bit of this in there. Just a little. I don't know what it's going to do with it, but... oh, yes. I really do like that, and I'm sure that I could even do this on the Bible page, but I find that this Bible, the pages are very, very delicate. And I don't want to add too much white. I don't want it to overpower the back colors. So I think I'm going to go back with a little bit of the burnt sienna. And then let's see what else we can create with this page. It's fall. It's still fall. Today it's snowing out there. It's crazy. Yes, this is what I want. I will go down a little bit here. I don't want this light color to overpower my page. Oh, this is great. And I'm going to let this dry, and I will be right back. So my page is dried. And I want to do some stamping on here. And I actually want to, I have a set of stamps here that I have of leaves. I can draw them, but I think it'll be a lot easier if I stamp it on there. I have an idea where I'm going to go with the page, but I'm not sure yet. And I do have my archival ink. So I have this fern green, English ivy, and my jet black, just in case the green does not show up. So what I want to do is start with the darker green. And these leaves, I'm not going to use them all. So let me see which ones I do want to use. I could use the bigger leaf, but it's going to take up more space on the page. We'll see, maybe a few of those, and maybe this one here. And I do have some acorns that I want to add an acorn. So I'm going to give those 3 a try and see where this leads. So I'm going to start with the bigger one. I'm just going to do a few of those. And at the same time, just keep talking. So basically, Jesus trusts his Father, always has. Always took time to go out and thank his Father for everything. For everything the Lord provided. So, and that's what we can do, and that's where gratitude stems from. It stems from a grateful heart that can recognize that God is the one that we can trust in every moment. And I think this big leaf is looking really good. Look at that. I think that's nice. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but I actually want it to come down the page, so let me put one over here. I think I need some new ink. I've had these for a while, so I think if it was fresh ink, it would be more, the vines, the little veins on the leaves would be more defined. So I will put this one here. I knew in my brain how I wanted this to look, but I didn't know how it was going to come out. So let's see. Okay, that's one. Now I'm going to go in with the smaller one. We're in hard times, my friends. You can look at the news and see all the things that are going on today. Oh, this one's a little better. All the things that are going on, and not just politically, I mean everything. And it might not be easy to be grateful in a time such as this, but Jesus never stopped trusting his Father, ever. He trusted him everywhere, at every moment, no matter where he was at. He knew his Father would always, like we say, have his back. And he will yours too. It's a matter of not letting your faith be shaken by anything. So I think this is nice. Of course, I have to draw a line through there, so let me see how many I'm going to put. I should have used my reverse block so that I can reverse the leaf in another direction, but it looks okay like that. So that's the second one. And I think I'm gonna do the acorns in black because I don't think it's gonna come out with the distressing. But you know what? I can give it a try and see if it works. Let's see, did I put it back in the container? Wait a minute. No, these are oxides. Oh no, this is vintage. Oh no, that is an oxide. So let me pull out one of the walnut distress ink and see if I keep my inks in here. Let me see if that'll work. Oh yes, yay! I'm so happy. Let me get one of my micron pens so that I can draw a line coming down the page. Should I use a green? Why don't I just use a green pen? But I'm not sure which one to use, so I have this Le Pen. I think these are from Hobby Lobby, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Or could I possibly use paint? I'm gonna go for it and see what happens. I'll just use the paint. Let me try on a piece of paper because I think it's kind of too light for that. Yeah, it's too light. I don't think that's gonna be dark enough for me. You have supplies and then you feel like you need so much more. So let me just start from here with this. Just go down and down. There we go. But see, you can't see it, so I think I'm gonna go in with the black, which is okay. I will just follow the same route I took. And there we go. Not liking it, but I probably should have used my Papermate pen. Let's see what happens if I do this. Yeah, that Papermate would have been better. And then connect it to the vine. Too late now. I can't go over, but that's okay. You live and you learn. But I'm liking the way this looks. We just add the little connection there to the leaf. I'm loving that. What can we be grateful for today? Today I'm grateful for the fact that I was able to get up this morning. Maybe we can add a little green over the black. It'll just make it darker. Let's see. Not too happy with the black, but that's okay. Let me extend that to look like a branch. Just put more green to the side. Aww. It happens, my friends. You're creating and it doesn't always turn out 100% the way you want it, but I still love the page, the background colors, the leaves. I'm okay with that. So let me add more of these acorns in there. If I choose, I can add some other stuff. There's a lot of things you can add to your picture. Let's see, maybe one. I have to turn it around, make sure I do it in the right direction. Okay, I can add two there. I can add one coming this way. Another one right on top of the leaf, that's okay. And one coming this way. Another one on this side. Oh, I'm liking the way this is coming out. I didn't know where I was going with it, but I'm satisfied with it. It's still autumn out there, even though we have snow today. Oh, this is lovely. I love it. Let's see. I don't want to overdo it either with all the acorns. So I'll leave it at that. And let's see where else this goes. Before I go any further, I'm going to lift this up a little closer so you can get an eye view of it, because I'm looking at the camera and I'm not sure if you can actually see because of the dark colors on the background. But here it is. That's what it looks like when you're looking at it close up. So when I look at it, that's what I'm seeing. And it's not done yet. There's still a few little details that I want to add in here. So I pulled out this color, Tuscan Red. I am going to add some, let's see if this works. I want to add a few berry dots to it, because when the leaves are out there, there's some trees that have little berries on them. Let's see if this works. Okay, there we go. Perfect. I'm using an eraser to do that. And it just adds, it just, as I say, beautifies your pages. You don't have to add a bunch of different things. Even the most simplest things can make your pages look really, really beautiful. 2 here. Let's see anywhere else. Let me add some. I think I spread a little too much paint on that paper. I'll add 3 up there. And I don't want to add too many because I do want to write something on there. So let's see, maybe, even if they get covered up, we'll see. I just don't know how it's going to look when I add the words to it. I'll add a few one up here. And let's see, maybe one in here. And one more over here, and I'll leave it at that. So this paint, I'm just going to get rid of it because I have no plans for it. And now what I'm going to do is let that dry so that I can outline each of the berries and give it a tip. 1 second. Okay, I am going to outline these little berries. But what I'm going to do is give them a little top, because that's what I see when I'm out there. They have these little things on the top edges of the berry. And it's just some little lines. Let's see if I mess up my micron pen. Some of these are not completely dry, but it's easier just making a V shape and then filling it in. I think they're a little too round and too perfect. When you look at them out there, they're not as, they don't look exactly perfect. They're all different shapes, but there's that. And I'm going to go up here, not worry too much if I don't circle the berry perfectly. And I'll just leave them suspended. They don't have to be connected to the vine. It still looks like it's part of it. And I mean, on something like this, you could just go on and add to this. But I don't want to cover all the background color. That is just a reminder of my favorite season, which is fall. So I have some coffee dyed paper. Let's see where I can go with that on this page. So I'm going to have to cut some of these down and I'll be right back. I've created these 2 labels that I want to add onto this page. Make sure I have enough glue on there so that it sticks. And I have to stand up to do this because I want to make sure that I have it in the right place and that it is straight. Okay, there's one. And I didn't put my mat down, but I will clean the glue off my table. This one says, thanks. Wow. I had it in mind how I wanted this to come out, and even though the leaves are not very pronounced in their color, let me see, where is that color I was using? Oh, I had a green one that I was using too. Yeah, the Papermate. I had added some, while I was off, I added some lines here so that you can actually see that those are the leaves, and I did outline the leaves. I outlined these leaves so you can see them better. And I'm also going to add just a little line of white on these berries so you can see those better too. Not necessary, but every little bit helps. There we go. Gratitude stems from trusting and knowing that the Father will always provide for you. It stems from His love. So that is my page. I will add the date later. I don't think I'm adding anything else on this. I really like it a lot. Now let me see if I can take this off without tearing these pages, because I actually took the tape and put it on my sleeve to take some of the sticky off so that it would not destroy this delicate page. This Bible, the pages are very thin. So on the other side, I wrote, what am I thankful for? There are so many things I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for family. I'm not going to fill this whole thing up, just a few things. Family, friends, in no particular order. God will always be first. God's love, provision, daily provision, knowing that He will always provide. And in Matthew, you can also find where it says that there's no reason to worry, not to be anxious, to not worry about your life, what to wear, what to eat, because like the birds, He will always provide. He values you more than anything. So this is it for today. And let me bring this up one more time so you can take a better look at it. And it says, give thanks. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you all. I hope the Thanksgiving season brings so many blessings into your life. And as you can see, I glued the page on there and it stayed put. And all I did was put a little bit of this glue on the bottom of the page, held it in there for a bit, and it stayed. Have a good one. I hope to see you soon.